Am I the asshole for imposing my culture even though I thought I was just being nice? Even though I, 23F, am American, my parents are immigrants and therefore I have a different cultural upbringing than most. One thing that was hammered into my head from a young age was to always bring a small gift when visiting anyone's house. It doesn't matter if it's family or friends or that one person you kind of know but don't really like, bringing something is a must. My boyfriend, 28 meters, and I have been dating for almost 4 years now, and since we both work from home he suggested we make dinner with his parents a weekly thing since we haven't been able to see each other much for obvious reasons. I love his parents, so obviously I agreed. Every week I made sure to bring something small to show my appreciation for them cooking for us, always using my own money, a small bottle of wine, their favorite dessert, some flowers etc., and they always thank me for it. This has been going on for a few months and absolutely didn't notice anything out of the ordinary until yesterday when my boyfriend and I were preparing to head over. I'd gotten a cute vase of daffodils since luckily I'd found some in bloom and my BF's mom really loves them, but my boyfriend suddenly got really mad and asked why I kept bringing stuff over every week like his parents were a charity case. Honestly, I got super confused and asked him what the problem was and that I've always done this with everyone including his friends since we met. That it was a cultural thing. But then he got even madder and told me to stop imposing my culture on everyone, and it's weird since I'm white. At that point I didn't feel like going anywhere with him and just gave him the flowers. And went for a walk while he drove over to dinner by himself. After he came home he still had the flowers which he gave to me and told me he was sorry, but his parents really were super annoyed with me constantly bringing stuff over like they can't take care of themselves, and later on I got a text from his dad asking me to not come over for dinner anymore. Now my BF's giving me the cold shoulder unless I give his parents a huge apology, but I really, truly don't feel like I'm in the wrong for trying to be nice to them. Am I the asshole? Quick edit: I didn't realize you could edit posts directly, but I'm in a hurry to convince him to let me go over to his parents' house. I did post a brief update in fact in my most recent comment. Not the asshole, but maybe in the future stick to bringing things on your first visit and special occasions? My love language is gifts, but I'd start feeling a weird sense of obligation if someone brought me a gift every single time I saw them, even if it was just a small/consumable thing. Not the asshole. Something else is definitely going on. Please update us after you speak to his parents and/or dump him. Is there an update? Not the asshole. Assuming that your boyfriend is telling the truth and he's not simply jealous of the good relationship you're building with his parents, there are better and more productive ways of communicating the issue than picking a fight with you minutes before you walk out the door. And accusing you of imposing your culture on him or his family is BS. You never demanded they accept the gifts, and if the parents were really uncomfortable, they could have pulled you aside and said something about it. I noticed the father didn't mention the gift giving in his text message, just that you're uninvited to weekly dinners, which to me screams that your BF said something to his parents, or at least his dad, to explain your absence that played his part in the argument. Either way, petulance and bad communication skills are not attractive qualities. If this is really that big a deal to him, after you telling him that it's just a cultural norm for you, and knowing that you don't see his family as some sort of charity case, then I don't think you should spend any more time on this guy. Not the asshole. I'm American for generations and I was taught the same thing. A bottle of wine, a small dessert, flowers. It shows appreciation for the effort your host takes to feed you. I don't know why anyone would be annoyed by good manners and consideration. That's just weird to me. Honestly, I'd apologize for making them feel uncomfortable by your actions, but I don't think you did anything wrong, either. You are not the asshole, but holy shit, your boyfriend and his parents are. I'm so sorry they are being so rude. Not the asshole. I think he's lying too. I would tell him no text, let's get them on the phone. Then you can ask all three why, after the first gift offended them, no one said a word to you. And ask why you've been uninvited to dinner, plus what the real issue is. Remind me. 24 hours. Please, without your boyfriend, go directly to your in-laws and ask to have a chat. Don't bring anything with you. It is their home and they are adults who can turn you away on their own. You do not need permission to go visit them. Anything written can be misunderstood, so please go speak to them. I wonder what your boyfriend said to them. Maybe to save him from being embarrassed about going to dinner without you, he said something to them such as you didn't want to give them gifts anymore. Not the asshole. How did they get charity case from those small tokens? I think that you were very kind to do this. Cultural or not, it was a beautiful gesture. Just don't go over there and don't apologize. Duh. Not the asshole at all. And why would you still want to go over to his parents' house if your BF's dad asked you to not come over for dinner anymore? These people are seriously ungrateful assholes, and that includes your BF. What a weird thing for them to get so pissy about. I would leave him and his family behind. You can do better. Not the asshole. My family doesn't have any history of immigration, since like the 1800s lol, but it's still something I like to do, to take a little thing over to someone's house. Usually it's only the first time I meet them or if it's a special event, but I would never think the worst of someone bringing me over a little gift when they visit. It's so wrong that they all assume the worst, and even worse that your boyfriend didn't back you up or explain your side to them, and the shit he said to you. To think that all white people have the same culture is also very ignorant, like your parents are literally immigrants like you said. You brought nice little gifts too. I dunno where you're from, but here in Middle America small gifts are always welcome. We'd appreciate the thoughtfulness. I think it's probably overkill if you're doing it weekly, but it is a polite custom and you're not the asshole. Seems like you might want to think about if you really want to be part of their family. Please keep us updated and tell us what happens next. Not the asshole. As a white person, it's also a normal thing to bring something over when visiting friends' houses or family. Where I'm from, it's typically considered rude if you don't. Your boyfriend and his parents are definitely the weird ones. It's a polite gesture, and obviously they've not learned to be polite themselves, obvious by every interaction here in the post. It'd be different if you showed up to the house with towels, pots and pans, etc. like my JN mother-in-law has done many times before, but coming with a wine or dessert is just called manners where I live. Just know you're not the weird one. They are. ! Updating. Not the asshole. How rude of them. Most people when they go for dinner to someone's house take a bottle of wine, dessert or flowers as a thank you for the meal, not because they think the people they are seeing are charity cases. Not the asshole, but just offering his/his parents' possible perspective. Did you grow up wealthier? My husband's family was more well off than mine. My parents sometimes felt insecure about the nice dinners and gifts his parents would provide ESP when we were dating and in college, and money was extra tight in my family. It got much better over time and they felt less and less insecure the more they got to know him, and now it's not a problem at all. Obviously it sounds like there's a cultural difference, but if there's a wealth discrepancy as well, that could add to the insecurity. Again, you are in no way the a-hole here. What you did, Imho, was very kind, considerate, and polite. I hope you're able to figure things out with his parents. It is really suspicious that he doesn't want you speaking to them directly. It would have been simple for them to kindly explain. Whilst they appreciate it, it is unrequired. Assuming you would have complied, not the asshole. Father-in-law seems a jerk, but sounds like your boyfriend won't defend you. Dump him. That's not even a cultural thing, that's just good manners. You can do so much better than them anyway. I'm American as hell and typically always bring something when someone is having me for dinner. Like I might not always do it when it's my mom or sister, but I pretty much always bring a dish, a bottle of wine, some beer, something. Not the asshole. I thought your boyfriend's reaction was ridiculous. Then when I read that the father texted you and told you that you were no longer invited to dinner, I was beside myself. You have been dating him for 4 years, and you have been unfailingly thoughtful and considerate with the small gifts you bring when you are a guest. The parents should be singing your praises. Dump the boyfriend and his eggshell family. If you think the drama is bad now, just wait until you're a daughter-in-law and they'll constantly invent insults to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm curious to know what culture this is. In Italy, the guests bring dessert or wine. Sometimes flowers. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Rethink your commitment to this guy and his parents. They are going to misinterpret everything and he will back them, as he has already indicated. And the no more dinner for you is a big hint, they want him to find someone else. Not the asshole, but your boyfriend of 4 years may have shown his true colors about your culture. After 4 years to say it's weird because you're white may show he knows nothing about you or something more sinister, or he could just be a giant idiot. Not the asshole. This is extremely suspicious. Boyfriend is keeping something huge from you, and under no circumstances does he want you contacting his parents to find out the real reason. If he gave them the phone and they are not tech savvy, most likely he blocked your number on it himself, which is why it is out of order. Come to think of it, he probably sent the message from dad's phone, deleted it so dad wouldn't see it, then blocked your number. You sound like a very sweet and thoughtful person. The gaslighting thrown out by your, hopefully soon to be ex-boyfriend could light up 10 city blocks. ETA, bringing small gifts to your hosts is not limited to your culture. My wife is meticulous about bringing hostess gifts when friends or family have us over for dinner. We're sufficiently American that our immigrant forebears had to be worried about being conscripted into the Civil War smile, and no Irish need apply. I'm white, born of two very white cultures, raised in a third, and believe me, I was always taught in all three that you never turn up at someone's door empty-handed. A bottle of wine, some chocolates, a sweet treat or a bunch of flowers are all perfect examples of the small consumable gesture I always bring with me. Only very rarely, outside of things like Christmas, would it be something more extravagant, and that's usually something like a fancy vanilla essence or organic honey, something I know the host would like and perhaps that we had been talking about in the past. My go-to is a particular brand of nice chocolates or a good wine, depending on the host, but one particular friend always gets flowers because she loves them. In fact, daffodils are her favorite, so she would have been all over your gift and would have been sending you photos of them the day after on her desk/in the window. Update him. That's sad, there's something he's not telling you. Not the asshole. I'm an Asian living in the southern US. My best friend is from the Midwest. All three of those cultures consider this normal. You just don't show up to people's homes empty-handed. Hostess gifts are normal in so many cultures. There is something shady going on here. You need to meet up with the parent since he's trying to keep you away for some reason. Not the asshole. I also come from a culture where that's customary, but even more so, it's actually considered bad manners to visit someone without a small gift, most commonly some dessert and/or flowers. I understand different things are thought of differently in different cultures, but from what I know about American culture, it's not in poor taste in any way to do that. Maybe some would consider it excessive, but rude or treating them like a charity case? Nah. That's extremely weird of them and shows that they just had bad faith in you, or just people in general. Please keep us updated. I'm pretty sure he made up a big lie to make you come across as the bad guy, and I'm so invested in knowing the truth now. Not the asshole. If someone bi-weekly brought me flowers or wine, I would be ecstatic and think it was very sweet, and I'm the most white American person ever. Boyfriend and his family have issues. And are not good at handling their own discomfort. If it made them uncomfortable in any way, they needed to A, mention it to you themselves, B, say it kindly and graciously instead of whatever mess happened here. Definitely not the asshole. Sounds like your boyfriend and his family are racist, especially because he pointed out that you are white. Not the asshole. White people are strange. You'll probably have a lot of stuff like this crop up if you continue the relationship. I would just drop it. There is something else going on. Not the asshole, obviously. Please keep us updated. I need to know how this turned out. Remind me. One day. I feel confident OP's boyfriend is the one who felt threatened by the gifts and probably didn't like the attention it got from his parents and embellished something to cause the text, or they are all so insecure that they cannot handle accepting any sort of gifts. Either way, OP is not the asshole. Wow, what culture is your boyfriend from? I don't want to accidentally offend someone by bring a small gift as thanks. I was also born here, but my parents are from Azores, Portugal, and wife was born here but from the Philippines. I understand how it is to be American-born while holding other non-American traditions. Being blended the way we are, there were times where I said, "Why do you do this?" or that, while my wife said the same regarding certain things we did. But it was never an issue like it is in your case. I wouldn't normally jump to this conclusion, but your boyfriend, who should know you better than his parents, can't relate to what you're trying to do and doesn't see it from a point of view as being respectful and caring means a lot. The fact that his parents' self-esteem is bothered by you being gracious is also a bad sign. It's as if they don't respect and appreciate a different cultural point of view. More so to just write you off and tell you not to come over anymore? You might want to reconsider your life choices before 10 to 20 years ago and you find your cultural identity lost to assimilation. Not the asshole. Honestly, I see this as a normal thing, even among people who follow different culture norms. People sometimes bring courtesy items like dessert or drink to a dinner or get together. I would talk to his parents and explain your point of view. Then cut your losses because your boyfriend sounds like a jerk, and if his parents are the same, even worse. Not the asshole. Break up with him, they sound racist AF. Not the asshole. I hope you get it sorted out. I'm also a child of immigrants, and my culture is that it might be a bit too formal to bring something over every time. Like, you bring a gift the first time you visit, but after that, it's much more informal and drop-by-ish. You'd ask, can I bring something, and you might be told, could you bring a salad/dessert? Or no, just come. And it's more potluck and very friendly and family-like atmosphere, where things like a hostess gift is superfluous. It being too formal is the only way I could possibly see it being offensive to his parents, and even then, wouldn't it be something they'd say, hey OP, stop bringing us presents all the time, you don't have to pay for the meal, you're like family, so just show up. Not the asshole, your boyfriend and his family definitely are. I'm sorry. He is not your match. Not the asshole. Their actions are a reflection of their flaws, not yours. Keep being yourself and be proud. I think it's a wonderful tradition if it's not a burden on you. Not the asshole, it's basic manners to take a small token of your appreciation when visiting others. Your boyfriend and his family aside, don't worry, OP, as you get older, you'll notice that people get more and more used to the idea of bringing something when invited over, usually a bottle of wine. And it's not a new thing or a non-American cultural thing. I've been watching episodes of the very American TV show Seinfeld, and the characters in the show always bring something when they go to visit someone. Find a better family to be around, boyfriend too, not the asshole. This is bizarre and not okay at all. It would be one thing if they would say, you're so nice, you don't need to bring anything, just bring yourself. That's what I or my parents would do. It is perfectly acceptable in American culture for guests to bring a small token gift to a gathering. The idea that you're imposing on them or insulting them is really weird. And to disinvite you? Your future in-laws? Not the asshole, obviously. Consider carefully if this is the kind of family you want to be saddled to for life. Not the asshole. But are you sure it's his dad that texted you this and not your boyfriend with his parents' cell phone, because his reaction to him not wanting you to go see them is suspicious? Yeah, I'm guessing he lied to his parents about why you weren't there. If they actually are mad at you, toss the whole damn family out. Also, AITA no culture because you're white? Seriously, have they ever heard of this really interesting continent called Europe? Multitude of varying cultures there, thousands of years old tradition, norms, mythology, the whole shebang. Idiots. The family. No European smile. Not the asshole. Bringing a small gift to show appreciation for the host is basic etiquette 101. Your boyfriend is up to something. Not the asshole. Bringing over gifts when visiting someone's home is a common courtesy. I think it is the same for all cultures, just maybe more heavily emphasized by cultures that are more family-centric. Not the asshole. That sounds like a beautiful tradition, and I would be so grateful if someone did that for me. I'm actually going to see about doing this when I visit my mother-in-law. Thanks for the idea. Try to work this out with them, but don't let them make you feel like you did anything wrong here. Hopefully they will realize how unreasonable they are being and apologize. Not the asshole, and I honestly doubt his parents minded your little gifts. They're grown adults and you've been doing it for months and they haven't said anything about it, but the moment you two fight they suddenly tell you not to come over for dinner? I get the feeling he told them a different story when he went to their house without you. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend and his family have issues. Not the asshole, but I am curious about the specific cultural background of the boyfriend. In some cultures, you have to be careful about what exactly you present as a host gift. Small things like flowers are usually safe, unless the specific type of flower has some negative connotation in that culture, but larger gifts can be seen as passive-aggressive. For example, in some Filipino houses, bringing gifts is usually a welcome gesture, but if you bring too much food to private dinner or a bottle of wine that upstages the hosts, it can be interpreted as an indictment of their hospitality or an attempt to boast about your superior social or financial standing. To me, it sounds like you were well with the range of socially accepted gift-giving practices of any culture, but there still might have been some missteps on your end. We would need more information to make a proper judgment on that. At the end of the day, you didn't do anything wrong, at least not with malice, and your boyfriend's family is being unreasonable. As other commenters have said, it sounds like your boyfriend misrepresented your intentions to his parents and they reacted based on faulty information. Get in contact with the parents and clear the air before this grows into a bigger controversy than it should be. Don't let your boyfriend get away with throwing you under the bus. Not the asshole. I always bring a hostess gift when invited for dinner or a party, so do my friends. Not dessert without checking with host in case they've already made something, but definitely wine or flowers or cute cocktail napkins, something I bring gifts when visiting my family in Italy. Born and raised in the US, I don't know what culture your boyfriend is talking about. Definitely contact his parents and apologize for disrespecting them. I bet they'll have no idea what you're talking about. Miss Manners would love you. But your boyfriend is a poophead. Not the asshole. His parents could have been grown-ups and talked to you about this weird discomfort they have over flowers, wine, and dessert. Do you want to be my friend? But they choose to be passive-aggressive. Take them at their word, don't go to any more dinners. Possibly break up with your boyfriend too, since he said you were imposing your culture onto other people. You are a kind person, doing a kind and polite thing. FFS. Not the asshole. You are incredibly generous and kind. They don't deserve you. They are trying to change a part of you that's good. Are you going to let them? It would be understandable if they wanted you to stop smoking, or drinking or smacking babies, but they are going after something that would generally be seen as nice. That should be a red flag for you. This is an extremely normal thing to do. Like it's literally proper etiquette in America and in other places. You didn't know his parents were offended by it. You aren't a mind reader. I'm not the asshole. But if you want to work things out with them, I think it's totally reasonable thing to throw in a hey, I'm sorry. I didn't realize me showing up with things wasn't appreciated. It was drilled into my head to never show up empty-handed. Won't happen again. Absolutely do not grovel though. If that apology isn't good enough, they've got bigger issues. Not the asshole X100. I bring little gifts when I go to my own parents' house, not because they need it, but because I appreciate they cooked and host me and my husband almost weekly. Something is wrong with this family, I'd run. Remind me. 24 hours. Curious what your native culture is and what theirs is, because there is definitely something lost in translation. Your boyfriend is an asshole for not listening to you, and, if he doesn't learn or seem willing to listen to your point of view and appreciate your culture, you should reconsider your relationship. I agree with others, would like to be a fly on the wall at the dinner you missed. I wonder how BF framed your gifts and absence at dinner? I would not send him a link to this Reddit, it'd be like calling him or his son TA yourself. Rather, I would write him a text back: BF shared that you thought my gifts were because I considered you a charity case, in need of the items I brought. When, in fact, I was taught that you never visit someone else's home empty-handed. I appreciate you and wife, and my gifts were meant to express appreciation and respect for your hospitality and kindness. They were absolutely not intended to be judgmental or send any other message to you. I am sorry that you do not want me to visit, as I have enjoyed and looked forward to dinners with you. I apologize if I have offended you in any way. Don't ask for forgiveness, don't ask them to reconsider, don't bargain with them. If they read a message like this and don't come crawling back to you with apologies, then they're not worthy of you, and likely their son isn't either. They'll never respect you or appreciate you. Not the asshole. And oh man, I need an update. Good on you for going over in person. OP, I have a feeling your partner is hiding something. Please tell me that you're leaving him. You deserve so much better. Would you mind updating us, OP? I agree with everyone else. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, that is a nice thing to do. Bringing a gift when you visit is a sweet gesture. If they didn't want you to bring gifts, they could have just said thank you and told you it wasn't necessary. Your BF's behavior is gross on top of everything else. I for sure would cut my losses and run. Not the asshole. Host gifts are incredibly common. When we entertained, everyone brought over a small host gift. Likewise, when we went out, my family would usually bring a nice bottle of wine. Maybe it's not a thing where he grew up, but it was an extreme faux pas to not bring a host gift. I'm a white Canadian and my ancestors were working class English people, so I don't know what he means by saying you're white. It's awfully sweet of you to bring gifts. I don't know why he is so upset about it, or his parents for that matter. It's a cultural thing, not a race thing, so I don't understand why he said you shouldn't do it because you're white. People who are white come from many different countries with many different cultures. I'm so sorry they are making you feel so shitty for just being considerate and nice. I hope you cut your losses and break up with him. Not the asshole. Glad your boyfriend and his family showed their true colors before you got married. Run far away. Edit, displaying manners isn't making them out to be a charity case. Remind me. 18 hours. Not the asshole, you're doing what is culturally correct. I'd what part of the US you're in, but they have no home training and seem to be disrespectful, possibly low-key racist. I can't believe they'd treat you like this when you go out of your way to being a gift to them, as being thankful for them allowing you into their home. Your boyfriend sucks and his family sucks. Not the asshole. If his parents really did have such a problem with that, then they should have brought that up to you. Which you would have then told them it's part of your culture. If they don't accept that, then they basically don't accept your culture. It is really immature for your boyfriend to be giving you the cold shoulder. Talk to him, tell him how you feel. If he doesn't listen, then dump him. Not the asshole. Ask his family if they are annoyed by the gifts. So far it's only based on what your boyfriend says. If they are, then reconsider whether you want to be with these people. Getting angry over small gifts for the host/hostess is ridiculous, and it makes me wonder if there are other red flags. Duh. If they had a problem with it, they could have just politely told you as much while you were there. I hate people that can't just talk. The passive aggressiveness is astounding. OP, I've heard of this cultural custom from a friend a few years ago. I don't want to guess your culture, as I am afraid I will be wrong, since I can't remember which culture does this, which doesn't really matter anyhow. I think it's a wonderful thing to do no matter who you are or where you are from. I think it's so sweet to show your appreciation to someone for hosting. Not the asshole, and I think that you should either educate the boyfriend or kick him to the curb. Not the asshole. What you describe is very good behavior for a guest. Move on to someone who will appreciate your good intentions. Boyfriend and his family don't deserve someone as thoughtful as you. I hope my daughters behave the same way you do when they get to be old enough to have boyfriends. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend is idiot bringing up the charity case comment and the fact that you are white. 1. He could have said you did not need to bring gifts every time. Yet, he decided to attack you like you. Maybe they feel that you are more wealthy than them and they are projecting. 2. He is erasing your culture because you look just a white American girl? What? I was also raised in a culture in which you take gifts everywhere. I don't think I would take gifts if it was a weekly thing, but I'd probably get some things every other dinner. You need to break up with this guy. They owe you an apology. You don't owe them anything. Not the asshole, and not only are you not but his parents are exceptionally rude, and I can assure you that bringing a host/hostess gift is not only not imposing your culture on anyone, it's as much a part of generic North American culture and etiquette as saying, please, and thank you, things which I suspect his parents, who seem to have been raised under a rock, are not familiar with either. Sweetheart, you did absolutely nothing wrong, except stumbling into a relationship with a grown man who was raised by a couple of mannerless boors. The only people who would perceive a small hostess gift, a gesture of thanks for being invited to dinner, that would be familiar to all white bread, mayonnaise Americans, thanks to Ann Landers and Emily Post, among others, to be a slight against them or an accusation of there being charity cases, because that seems deeply rational. Daffodils for the poor and indigent, huh? Are people who are so deeply and thoroughly entrenched in living in a permanently defensive posture that they literally cannot conceive of anyone doing anything kind or polite for its own sake. Ever. And trust me, those are not people you want to spend any more time with than necessary. They are not happy people. And it doesn't end with just being fundamentally and intrinsically miserable humans. They're also deeply ignorant. The fact that your boyfriend made that comment about you being white speaks to the fact that he has such an impoverished worldview that he actually views ethnicity and culture based solely on skin color, a view that is both shockingly reductive and utterly ahistorical. Dear OP, you seem lovely, generous and kind. Please stop wasting your time with these vicious half-wits. You are clearly not the asshole, but you deserve 1000x better. Not the asshole. No way, no how. I was taught you should never go to someone's home for dinner empty-handed. Bottle of wine, dessert or flowers. I'm from the USA. Not sure where his family is from, but how rude they are with their false pride. Not the asshole. Imposing would be if you told them they had to give a gift as well when they visited places. It's not like you're asking to lick their fucking toes as a custom, or bringing them gift cards to the grocery store and a pack of socks. Remind me. 4 days. When you go over for dinner. It's nice to bring dessert. Or something. It's such a nice gesture. It's one thing to say, hey, let's only gift something once a month and not each time. But his words are odd. Has he never received a gift in life? Did he think he was a charity case at that point? Good luck to you getting to the bottom of it. Wow. Definitely not the asshole. I was taught the same. It's just good manners to bring a host gift. Even to my own family. They seem terrible. Which charity accepts flowers? Laugh out loud. What a bunch of weirdos. That's not even abnormal for white people. Maybe it would be weird if you were straight up bringing groceries or clothes, but flowers or a cake is not charity. Laughing my ass off, not the asshole. And if I were you, I'd try and ask his parents. I wouldn't be surprised if they were totally cool with it and he was just making it up. Exclamation mark, remind me. 2 days. Exclamation mark, remind me. 12 hours. Are you French, / of French origin, perchance? Something my wife does almost regardless of where we go and for how long. We stopped off at a distant friend's place en route for our weekend away, had to buy some cookies, sweets to bring even though it was last minute and we only stayed 15 minutes, haha. Anyway, I wonder if he isn't insecure that you're maybe being more generous, considerate of his parents than he is. Seems like a childish reaction, and the imposing your culture nonsense was likely just a way to find any semi-plausible excuse for an unexamined, let alone processed, emotional reaction. Would suggest talking when things have cooled off, but no, you are not the asshole here, and unless he's open to a proper discussion, I'd suggest a bigger conversation about the relationship may be in order. No assholes here. It's a cultural misunderstanding. I imagine the first few times your gifts were well received. The issue is you've ceased be a guest and are now familiar. They're interpreting your continued gifts as either a rejection of that or that you consider them needy. There also can be a strange song and dance about not asking for help yet accepting it when given. Exclamation mark, remind me. 24 hours. Exclamation mark, remind me. 16 hours. Not the asshole. You were very thoughtful and kind. I highly doubt your boyfriend's family knows anything about this, which is what I thought even before I read your update. After I read it, I know they don't. I highly doubt that text was from his father. Definitely go talk to his parents about how they feel about things and why they never said anything if they were uncomfortable with the gifts. Once you have their thoughts and feelings, then go back to your boyfriend with the truth and find out what tonight was really about. I can assure you, it was not about you bringing gifts to dinner with his parents. And just remember, he's TA. This is possibly not the family for you. Either his parents have a weird complex about gifts or he does. This is a sweet thing you should continue to do, for people who appreciate it. Not the asshole, your boyfriend is lying to you, no doubt about it. It honestly breaks my heart when you say I'm never gonna break up with him, he is the man I want to marry. He doesn't deserve you and you are wasting the best years of your life with him. He is blatantly gaslighting you and this behavior won't get better, it will only get worse. Not the asshole, please edit with an update when you speak to his parents. You are a very polite person. If your boyfriend is telling you the truth, then you are truly throwing pearls before swine. If my son brought you over every week and you were like this with my wife and me, you would melt our hearts. You deserve a better relationship than this. You are not appreciated by any of them. Edit, it just hit me. Is your boyfriend a narcissist? They tend to lie a lot and to make people feel bad about themselves. Exclamation mark, remind me. 10 hours. Not the asshole, man. Dump this prick. Not the asshole, and I really need to know what happened, lol. I bet Christmas with them is great. You think I can't buy my own significant other? CKS? Not the asshole, you found a bad bunch, that's all. Not the asshole. Something fishy is happening here. Why all of a sudden? Why the unreasonable reaction to a simple token of appreciation? The boyfriend's reaction doesn't add up. Why freak out when Op wants to come over to his parents to apologize? Doesn't make sense that apologizing over text would be preferred in this case. Please update us once you've figured it out, Op. Best of luck. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend, and his parents, is though. You are sharing, not imposing, a beautiful, loving, and generous part of your culture with people you love and respect, and they are being ungrateful and bigoted. I highly suggest to get out of that relationship, because if he loves you, he loves all of you, not the parts he can pick and choose, and your culture is a big part of who you are and why you are who you are. If he can't accept that he's not the one for you, you deserve better. You deserve to be appreciated for all of who you are. Not the asshole. They are for rejecting gifts. Not the asshole. Even in America, bringing a hostess gift is considered good manners. Emily Post would approve. I strongly suspect your boyfriend is lying about what his parents said. Oh my gosh. You should go over and see if that's how they really feel, because I feel like there is no reason his dad would text that to you. Not the asshole, you were doing a nice gesture and being polite. Taking a gift when going for dinner at someone's house is something my parents have always instilled in me as well. It also sounds like your gifts, the daffodils, were very thoughtful. If his parents had an issue with this, they should have communicated this with you and just let you know that they'd rather you just brought yourself. The way they handled it was very disrespectful and unfair. They and your boyfriend are the assholes, not you. Agreed. How hard would it have been for the parents to say after the third or fourth time, "Oh, you don't need to bring anything next time, just yourself"? Also, being offended by a bottle of wine or flowers seems odd. There's gotta be more to it than they're letting on. Charity case? It's not like you insisted on paying for or providing the meal or make comments about how they can't afford things, right? I'm a white American and this is how I was raised as well. If it's 4 people dining, I'd bring 4 nice cupcakes. Just something small. OP, not the asshole. Same here. And the correct response if you don't want someone to do that is just to say, "Please don't bring anything, we have everything here." This whole thing is just weird and seems like a really over-the-top reaction. Not the asshole, just text them that you are sorry they took the gifts in the wrong way, that by no means have you ever thought they needed you to take care of them, but that it was part of your upbringing and it is meant as an appreciation sign, but that seeing how things unfolded they don't appreciate you enough to bring the matter with you in a mature and adult way so you can all communicate about it if it really was making them so uncomfortable. And that yes, you agree not to come anymore. Not the asshole, I don't understand how things can escalate so quickly. It seemed then your boyfriend's family seen this gifts like charity. Maybe they live or lived a poverty situation who cross with this news dinners and theses gifts bring them uncomfortable. But it's very awkward of the parents to say this and to forbid you this dinners, without a discussion. However, I think at an possibility then your boyfriend contributed at the situation and off, and his comment on your culture is a little weird. Like if you was raised in a double culture all tout person or impacted so, why he seems so surprised by your habits. It's the only explanation I can see with all the informations who give. I'm not English speaker so maybe I don't expose my point of view with clarity. Please, don't apologize, just run of this relationship. Not the asshole. You need to talk to the parents to get to the bottom of this. OP, come over to my house, I will cook and you bring me flowers. Some people like to be mad for no reason, geez. Not the asshole, but your boyfriend and his family are, and BTW, if they didn't like it there were better ways to tell you. Not the asshole. I brought you some daffodils because it seems like you could use all the help you can get. Make it make sense. I need to know what this lie you unraveled is. I just know it's something. Not the asshole, I do kind of see why they don't want a gift though. At the end of the day the way it was brought up was terrible. All they needed to say is that you are part of the family and that you don't need to bring a gift over every time you come over. With that said, when I go places I always ask if there is something I can bring. Usually I grab some kind of quick dessert that everyone can partake. I would apologize but say I don't like not contributing to a dinner that I am partaking in. I would like to continue to bring something, but would you be able to tell me what you want me to bring? It could be a dessert, flowers, a side dish, I just want to contribute in some way. They are under the impression that you think they are a charity case but you are the one eating their food. You can turn the tables on them by making it seem like you don't want to be a charity case. Not the asshole, and it's not even a cultural thing, it's a respectful thing for a guest to bring the host/hostess something showing your appreciation for the invite. It's called manners. Maybe after every week for several months it wasn't really necessary, that's like a dozen gifts OP, but certainly not rude. If you brought something else for dinner, that would be rude. A hostess gift, wine, flowers, dessert, those are all very normal and customary when someone invites you to dinner. Never show up empty-handed, I was always taught. Update, me. It's not a fit. I was raised the way you were, it's polite to bring something. My husband's family had the opposite reason for forbidding me to bring wine to dinner. They told me I'm not a guest, I'm family. Also, they are very into wine and probably didn't want to drink mine instead of theirs, but your boyfriend's family have a chip on their shoulder and it sounds like you enjoy being polite, so I think it's important to be with people who appreciate your generosity. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, we are not immigrants and it has always been a must to bring a host/hostess gift when visiting people. We usually do wine. A friend of mine brings small trinkets. Another friend brings candles. We were always taught that it was polite to bring a gift and I wasn't raised in high society. Just a normal average American family. If my children bring guests over for dinner to my house, I think it would be rude if they didn't bring something. Not the asshole, please update so we can find out what like your boyfriend fed his parents. Not the asshole. OP, my parents bring me small bottles of wine, desserts or flowers when they come to my house for dinner. Something is very wrong here. You're right to go directly to the parents and discuss this with them. Good luck, OP. Okay. I have not gone through and read everyone reply, but I was raised the same way. I am from a tiny town in the Appalachian Valley. We still carry some old traditions. But in my book that is just being a nice guest. And it's weird since I'm white. What is that even supposed to mean? Triangular flag on post, triangular flag on post, triangular flag on post, triangular flag on post. Exclamation mark remind me. 24 hours. Not the asshole, your boyfriend and his parents are ungrateful, you do this because it's a gentle act to show how grateful you are. Not the asshole. If you were dating my son, I would be thrilled that he had someone so thoughtful in his life. If I felt it was too much, I would nicely let you know that you did not need to do so much and to save your money for your future together. I agree with the other posters, get out fast. Ungrateful people don't deserve such nice people as yourself. This is one of those am I the assholes that makes me sad you even feel the need to post here. For me, this is so blatantly not the asshole. So please trust your gut, your bad feelings are both smart and completely warranted. I'm not going to give advice like breaking up or couples counseling, other than to trust your gut this time on what to do. It's clearly onto something. Not the asshole. It's not even a cultural thing, it's just good manners. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend's family sounds racist. Taking something along is just a nice gesture. I do that every time I go to see my own mother. Either OP is missing something else out of the story or these people are looking for a petty excuse. I feel OP should have some self-respect. For a partner to behave in that manner is not acceptable. If you put up with it today, it's likely to just get worse, and tomorrow there will be other things about your culture which will be looked down upon. Not the asshole from what you have told, and definitely time to get out and escape. Break up him and send his parents a shit pie. Exclamation mark remind me. 24 hours. I even do this, and my family has lived in America many generations back. It's not weird, but they're definitely being weird. Not the asshole. Exclamation mark remind me. 2 days. Hell no, you're not the asshole, your boyfriend and his partners are. We have this tradition in India, it always brings smile when you see gifts after people leave, it just freshens up the home. Definitely not the asshole, but your boyfriend is being super odd. I am a white American. As my mom always says, never go empty-handed. Not the asshole. BF and his folks sound like Major Oz, you're not the asshole op. Not the asshole. This is fucked. Not everyone does that in my culture, but you do it whenever you want to show appreciation. Imposing your culture would be to force them to give you something whenever they visit you. The family and the boyfriend sound very insecure with their social and financial standing. How did they become a charity case from small gifts? Not the asshole, and you know it. Also, I'm commenting so that I can check for another update later on. Hope you can get to the bottom of this. Not the asshole, I'm from the UK and it is customary here to bring a bottle and/or food if we are going to someone's house for dinner/house party/barbecue. You are being kind and generous, and did absolutely nothing wrong. If your boyfriend and his family do not appreciate you, they don't deserve you. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but know your worth. You have values and manners, your boyfriend doesn't. Find someone with similar values to you, who will support and encourage your generosity to others, not restrict it. The world needs more people like you, not less. Not the asshole. Please leave those MF, for your own good. Not the asshole. Who gets mad because someone gives them stuff? And the charity case comment makes no sense to me. You're bringing flowers and dessert, not slipping them a 20 or bringing them anything that might be considered essential. Not the asshole, you're not bringing a Bible or a niqab. I have no idea how boyfriend's parents could see small tokens of appreciation as pushing your culture, nor do any of the items you listed seem overly expensive, so the whole charity case thing seems off too. You're not gifting them envelopes full of money. I don't know where your parents are from, but I'm from the UK and all those gifts are pretty normal, especially around people you'd want to be polite and respectful of, like a significant other's parents. You aren't doing anything wrong. I was brought up that a hostess gift, flowers, wine, or even chocolates, are taken to give to people hosting others for a meal. It's an expression of thanks for the effort and the hospitality of the hosts. I'm an American, born in Texas. My parents were born and raised in Texas. Moreover, all of my American-born friends do the same thing. You aren't pushing your culture on anyone. I think there's more going on here. Maybe his parents have a thing about immigrants? Even though you're first generation born here, that doesn't necessarily protect you from bigots. Sadly, that's not uncommon in today's America. I think, too, you should consider whether you want to be in a relationship with someone who will bully and coerce you. That's what cold shootering is, on their own behalf or that of anyone else. Remind me. 48 hours. Your actions are actually super normal. Bring over something when invited to someone's house. I often bring drinks, dessert, or flowers. I think they have weird insecurities they need to work on. Definitely agree with those who've suggested you contact the parents. Sounds like he's fed them some garbage and they believed it. Please have the conversation then post an update. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. If you want to stir some shit for him, my petty ass would reply to his father directly in person that you were sorry for making him feel like a charity case. I bet that'll be a surprise to his family. Not the asshole. It's called a hostess gift, and not uncommon in the USA either. I usually bring a bottle of wine, or ask if there's something I can bring. Even to my mother's house. Not the asshole. You sound like a lovely, thoughtful person. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend and his family suck. Not the asshole. This dude you're dating found someone willing to go to weekly dinners with his parents, found someone who loves his parents and is thoughtful by bringing their favorite dessert or flowers or whatever. And this is how he responds? That's how his parents respond? Not sure why you love them, OP lol. And if his parents were truly getting upset about it, he should have talked to you about it way before instead of the night of dinner months after it's been happening weekly. This family sucks, OP. You sound lovely and you deserve to find a better boyfriend with a better family lol. Oh wow. I've never cried reading an Am I the Asshole, but I am now. You're not the asshole here. You have such a generous and loving heart and I think you've wasted it on terrible people. I'm an older lady myself and a mom of adult kids, and if one of my kids' friends brought me a little present like this I'd be ticked pink and make sure to reciprocate. My heart hurts for you right now. These people don't deserve you. Cut your losses and run away from this cruel family. Remind me. 4 days. Not the asshole. Something is going on and he definitely told a lie to his parents or managed to text you pretending to be his dad. It's actually considered polite to take a small gift when going to someone's house for food, especially if they're cooking. It isn't like you're taking jewelry that is expensive, you're taking a small token of appreciation. BF sounds like an ungrateful asshole. Not the asshole. Sounds like there's more afoot. Not the asshole. Write that whole family off, they aren't worth it. Not the asshole. I studied some ethnographic anthropology papers as part of my degree. These people are very ignorant. If they won't listen, then this means that they are fundamentally as racist as you can be. Racism is about feeling superior and others being inferior. Racism is about our customs, education, money, and personal items being staggeringly superior. Here is a good online description I just found. The belief that different races possess distinct characteristics, abilities, or qualities, especially so as to distinguish them as inferior or superior to one another. If both he and his parents refuse to listen and understand you, it means that they firmly believe they are superior beings. Not sure what that does for your relationship? If this is true, then there will be a lot of other things that bug him and they will come out sooner or later, e.g. how you hold, touch, talk to and educate children. That might be a real humdinger for you after you marry him. Your post bothers me because something is unspoken here, unspoken by them. Not the asshole. I thought it was normal to bring something small like that to someone's home, especially when going to a dinner. Everyone I know always brings something small to family dinners. I feel like there's something you're not being told. His dad didn't say why, just that you can't come. I'm wondering what your boyfriend really said to them. Not the asshole. This isn't a cultural thing, it's called being raised by good parents. Update me please. I don't think there is really enough info for a judgment. I am also very confused by where all of these people live in the US that are saying bringing a gift all of the time is normal. My family has been here since the colonial era and this was not a thing passed down. Bringing a gift to a party or a potluck is normal, but for a weekly dinner with your significant other's parents it is not. And I do know why they might be offended by a gift every time. For people that don't practice this tradition, it is often seen as a passive-aggressive way of critiquing their decor/cooking/taste in wine/etc. So it is possible that you did unintentionally offended them. Absolutely not the ah. I would like to believe I grew up with the same type of culture, and the worst I have got from anybody was, "Hey, you don't need to get us anything next time," which to me is perfectly understandable. Why would they keep accepting charity and then burst out suddenly? Seems like there are a lot of underlying problems which are not being communicated properly. Have a talk with your boyfriend about this, but as someone pointed out, his dad downright telling you not to come to dinner after your boyfriend meets them sounds really sus. If you like the video, hit that subscribe button for more content. I post every day, and I'll see you next time with more stories.